One, two, three. Hello everyone, this is Prashanth. Let's continue with the last lecture. In last lecture, just we have completed Python, introduction of Python. That is in the part of logical design using Python. So in the part of logical design of using Python, just we have completed data types, data variables, packages remaining completed in the last up to the last lecture. So right now just we are entering into the another new topic, that is IoT physical devices and IoT physical devices and endpoints. So in the part of IoT physical devices, just we have to discuss about the here two main devices, that is Raspberry Pi board and Arduino board. Raspberry Pi board and Arduino board. So these are the two major IoT physical devices. So apart from that, just we have to explain about how the IoT device can interface with Arduino module and Raspberry Pi module. That is the content I am going to discuss in next slide. So here, before going to entering into that actual content, first we have to know the Raspberry Pi introduction to Raspberry Pi motherboard. So here in the part of introduction to Raspberry Pi. So here this is a single computer board. So for example, if you have a personal computer, that personal computer, how many features it having, same kind of features having Raspberry Pi board also. So it look like just as shown in the figure, just like ATM card size it is, but it having so many features that as a microcontroller. So it is one of the microcontrollers. So it same. The Raspberry Pi is a single board computer developed by Raspberry Pi Foundation in the UK. The first version of Raspberry Pi is released in February 24th, 2012. So from 2012 onwards, the Raspberry Pi actual working operation came into force. So it is a ARM-based computer with general input out pin, general purpose, general input output ports, USB, Ethernet, among other things. All ports are having nearly 6 to 8 ports it having to connect to different peripherals to the board. The goal of the inventors of the Raspberry Pi, it was to promote computer science in schools and developing countries by making a cheap single board computer. So it just look like a simple credit card size board it having. So being a very inexpensive computer, that is almost the same size as a credit card size. So the Raspberry Pi has been used for other than being a simple desktop computer. So these are some introduction points regarding Raspberry Pi. So this is the diagram. So this is the Raspberry Pi logo. This is it having one port, second port, third port. So same pin descriptions also I am going to explain in next slide. So here, what are the capabilities of Raspberry Pi? So here, simply the Raspberry Pi is a computer with a tiny form factor. In terms of form factor, you can use it as a desktop computer with Linux operating system. So it is not for Windows 10 or Windows 9, Windows 10. So our XP also it is not working. So it is only based on just Linux based operating system, or Linux operating system having while we connect to interact with the Raspberry Pi module. So aside being a computer, Raspberry Pi can do also other conventional stuff. So it can control some features it having capabilities in your home. So air flight control also it can use for your drone, a weather monitoring system in with the remote system, a data logger, the brain of your smart robot, even as a medicine dispenser complete with a log and patient record. So almost every department, other medical department, agriculture department, whatever the departments are available. So maximum the use of Raspberry Pi can do some kind of specifications. So these are the some capabilities of Raspberry Pi. Next, Raspberry Pi Raspberry Pi is a just it is Raspberry Pi foundation we already know. So it is ARM based micro computer motherboard. The only size of credit card we already know. So the original purpose of the foundation's development of the Raspberry Pi was to improve the teaching level of the school computer science and related discipline. So this is very very important to know. The main goal of Raspberry Pi invention of Raspberry Pi teaching in terms of teaching levels of the school's computer science and related disciplines and cumulative the youth's computer programming interest and ability. So the most people have used the Raspberry Pi for embedding development, which is the mostly used in Internet of Things. So the domains IoT, smart homes and AI and ML like that. So these are some domains we are using Raspberry Pi module. Everywhere based on the requirement, just we can use the Raspberry Pi module. So next we have some generations and models. So basically the four models here we have Raspberry Pi P1, Raspberry Pi P2, Raspberry Pi 3, Raspberry Pi P4. So here, so these are the some disadvantages. So in order to overcome that, just we go for P2. In that also we have some limitations. So to cross that, we go for third one. Next, the last one, advanced version is P. Currently we are using Raspberry Pi P4, latest version of latest model. So here there is a lot of Raspberry Pi boards since the first board was released from 2012 February 25th. We have the Raspberry Pi P1, P2, P3, latest version P4 that we know. So here the P1 specifications it having Raspberry Pi P1 that based on the first model released by the Raspberry Pi Foundation. The latest design includes the single ARM processor that is having 512 megabit RAM. Raspberry Pi model A plus B plus. These are the models. A plus B plus both having 40 general ports input output, USB 2.0 and HDMI cable that is Type A. Type A and Type A and Type B models also available based on Raspberry Pi generations. So that we'll discuss in the next slide. So the Model B plus difference is that Ethernet and USB has more 2.0. The only difference in just RAM size, USB model, general input output. So in terms of these two, there are the differentiation in among all four models. So Raspberry Pi P2, it is an improvement of the first release. Just some limitations in order to overcome the limitations of Raspberry Pi P1, we go for P2. So here the latest design includes quad core 32-bit. So here 32-bit ARM processor with 1 GB RAM. So here P1 512 MB RAM only. So here 1 GB RAM. Model B has 40 pin general input out general ports input output, 4x USB 2.0, HDMI Type E and Ethernet port. So some of the just improvements are some things are added to the P2. So these are the first two models of Raspberry Pi. So Raspberry Pi 3 and P4. P3 at the third generation 3D. The latest design includes the quad 64-bit. So in P2 it is only 32-bit. P3 it is 64-bit. The difference is ARM V8 processor with 1 GB RAM. 1 GB RAM is same. Raspberry Pi models. So here it is having some models A plus, B plus, and these are the 40 pins general input output pins. Let's see next and HDMI Type A. The Pi 4 currently we are using latest version of Raspberry Pi module. that is Pi 4, latest and most advanced Raspberry Pi to till date. The newest broadcast and quad core 64-bit and 8-bit processor with 2 GB, 8 GB, and just extensible processor, that is 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB up to 16 GB. So these are the versions of generations of versions Raspberry Pi P1, P2, P3, and P4. So here we have Model A and Model B Raspberry Pi. So Model A having some specifications compared with A, B also some other kind of specific features it having. So let's see discuss the first Model A Raspberry Pi board. So this is the diagram for Model A. So same ports having like USB port to RS-232 fold, 40 general input out, general ports input out, 40 pins having 20 pairs, 1, 2, 3, 3 is 9, 10, 20 ports. So like same. So here the coming to the specifications of modular Raspberry Pi board here. So it is a Broadcom BCM 2832. BCM Model 8 is nothing but BCM 2835 system on chip model. It comes to equipped with ARM 1176J ZF, yes, 4 CPU, 256 MB of SDRAM, and input frequency for this one is 700 megahertz. So these are the some specifications of Model A. Next, Raspberry Pi USB 2.0 ports use external data connectivity options here. So the board density power from micro USB adapter with a minimum range of 2 watts. The graphics specialized chip is designed to speed up the operation of image calculations. So this is the built-in Broadcom video core 4 cable that is useful to if you want to run the game and video through Raspberry Pi. These are the some specifications of Model A. Some features it having. The coming to the features of Raspberry Pi Model A. In Model A, we have A plus, B plus, A, C, D like that different versions. So basically, the models of Raspberry Pi 2, Model A and Model B. So Model A having different specifications along with different versions like A plus, B plus, C, D like that. B also having some specifications, some features and versions A B, A C B like that having. So the features of Raspberry Pi Model A, it is 256 MB of SDRAM, a single 2.0, 2.4 USB connector, dual core video for multimedia processor, HDMI composite RCA video out, 3.5 mm jack HDMI audio output, SDMMC SDIO card slot on board stage. So it is supported with Linux operating system. Broadcom BCM 2835 system on chip for multimedia processor. The dimensions 8.6 into 5.4 centimeter. 5.4 into width is 1.5 centimeter. So these are the dimensions of Model A features, nothing. Next, Model B. So this is the diagram for Model B. So the pins are different. 360 pins are going to increase, and HDMI port, reset button like that. It having some specific different ports compared with the Model A. So Raspberry Pi Broadcom BCM 2835 SoC, it is same. So but the RAM 512 MB of SD RAM and ARM processor ARM 1176J ZF S core. The USB 2.0 port of the Raspberry Pi boards use only external data connectivity options. The Ethernet is the Raspberry Pi is the main gateway to interconnectivity with the other device and internet in Model B. So it draws power of micro USB adapter with a minimum of 2.5 watts of 2.5 watts. So the input frequency 700 megahertz. So these are the some specifications or features specifications of Model B Raspberry Pi board. So coming to the features of Raspberry Pi model, so same 512 SDA RAM, but there 1 GB of SDRAM memory, broadcast BCM 230 2835 system on chip, high definition multimedia processor, and dual core 4 multimedia co-processor, that is same, single 2.0 USB connector, HDMI composite RCA video out, 3.5 jack HDMI audio out, MMC SD SDIO card slot and broad storage. It is supported with Linux operating system, 8.6 into 5.4 into 1.7. But Model A here the width is 1.5 only, remaining are same. So the onboard 10 by 100 Ethernet RJ45 jack of it having. So these are the some features of Raspberry Pi model. Features of Raspberry Pi model. The different versions are different. A plus B plus, like that we have different version. So these are the some comparison with Model A with Model B, and features also in difference in terms of SDRAM, broadcast BCM 2835 USB connector. In terms of dimensions also, it is some variation. So just look like it is very to see it is very similar, but the coming to the inner operation it may different. So these are the two types of model, Raspberry Pi Model A and Model B. And these are the speed specifications of various Raspberry Pi models and generations, focusing on the versions, release date, form factor and dimensions. So here Raspberry Pi version release date. So it start from 2012, that is standard size 85.6 and 56.50. Form factor just is nothing but the ratio of input to the output, how much amount of input we are giving, based on that how much amount of output we are getting. So the dimensions here it is in height and width. So Raspberry Pi 4 model, that is B. Raspberry Pi 4 we have 1 2 3 4 models, 1 to 3 versions. So Model E and Model P different models. Raspberry Pi 4 Model B, it is just released on 2019 to 20. The standard form factor it having 85.6 and 56.5. Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus, it is released in 2018. Standard size 85.6 into 56.5. Pi 3 Model B and the same Pi 3 Model A plus 2018, Pi 0 wireless with headers 2017, 0 wireless, that is 2016, 0 2015, Model B 2015, Model B plus 2014, Model B 2012, Model A plus 2014, Model A 2013. So these are the different versions, release date and form factor, standard size, minimum, standard different dimensions. Next, continue with this Raspberry Pi version with the help remaining factors in terms of weight, in terms of weight, in terms of general ports, input output. It having generally minimum 20 pairs of input out ports, nothing but 40 pins. 20 pairs, minimum 20 pairs, nothing but 40 pins. 20 pins, nothing but 40 pins. CPU speed, how much you are having CPU speed, and core processor and RAM size. So here same general Pi 4 Model B, the weight in grams 46 grams, 40 pins having 1.5 GB of CPU speed. The core Qualcomm 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 are 8 GB extensible. 1 GB, 2 GB, 4 GB and 8 GB extensible version. And same B plus 50 grams, 50 grams, 50 grams, 50 grams, 50 grams, 40 pins. General minimum 40 pins. But coming to the Model B Pi 1, having only 21 pin, remaining 26 pins are header pins. So for Model A also 21 pins, having 26 pin. So 700 megahertz, 700 megahertz, 700 megahertz, 1.2 GB, 1 GB, 1 GB, 1.4 GB, 1.2 GB, like that. Single core or quad core, single core or quad core. RAM 1 GB or 512 GB or 256 GB for model 1, Raspberry Pi 1 model A, having only 256 MB. Weight 10, 10, 8, 42, 42, 38, 23, and 30. So these are the different for versions: weight, general ports, input, output, CPU speed, core, and RAM size. And connectivity specification, same versions: B plus, B, A plus, zero wireless with headers, zero wireless, zero, B plus, B, A plus, A. So full sized USB ports, other USB and charge methods, power, and HDMI ports. So in terms of full sized USB ports, having two USB 3.0, two USB, two USB 3.0, to USB 2.0, like that. Just we have to see for USB 2.0, for USB 2.0, for different version. Compulsory there is a minimum change in different factors in terms of full usage USB, um, previous also general input output, CPU speed, like that. In terms of power also 5.1 volts, 5.1 volts, 5.1 volts, different with frequency. HDMI ports, HDMI composite trace, general input outputs, like that. Having connectivity specifications of various Raspberry Pi boards, focusing on the versions of full-sized USB ports, other USB and charge methods, power and high definition multimedia interface port, nothing but HDMI ports. So these are the some different full-sized USB ports having these it is no ports. In terms of USB, one micro USB, two micro USB, general input, general ports, input, output, like that we have to study. So these are the for different versions: A, B, B plus, B, A plus, zero wireless with headers, zero wireless, zero, model B, model B plus, model B, model A plus, A. For different versions, we have different factors: release date, form factor, dimensions, weight in grams, general input outputs, 40 pins or 20 pairs, like that. CPU speed also one of the factor. Core, which type of core we are using, and the RAM size 1 GB or 512 GB or maximum 1.5 GB. So here just we maximum 1 GB, 8 GB also, 1248 GB also. So let's connect with the specification also using. So just we have some uses on by using Raspberry Pi board. Like a desktop computer, you can almost anything the can do with Raspberry Pi. You can start the and manage programs with its graphical Windows desktop. It also has the shell for accepting the test commands also. So we can use the Raspberry Pi computer for the following: just playing games. So in olden days, there are the video game computers also. So for that also, just we are using game computers, video game computers. So browsing the internet. So in order to do browse the for a personal purpose or professional purpose, just in terms of browsing the internet, and word processing in Microsoft Word, just word processing, and spreadsheet. Just anyone can fill the data. Just the data will be automatically updated in the worksheet. And editing photos like workshop or like Photoshop. So many editing websites are available in online. So one of that Photoshop, and paying bills online like current bill, credit card bill, whatever the bill available in the platform, managing your accounts. So these are the some real-time use cases of Raspberry Pi board. And so this is the main black diagram of first black diagram of nothing but circuit diagram of Raspberry Pi. So this is Raspberry Pi logo. So it is having different ports. Like first from here to here, there is a general ports input output, nearly 20 pairs 1 2 3 4 5 like 20 pairs, nothing but 40 pins. So it is PoE had pin, gigabyte ethernet to USB 3.0x to 3.2.0, 3.2 this is 2.0, audio port to dual channel MIPI CSI camera port also. This is HDMI cable, dual channel micro SD card slot, and 2.425 gigahertz Bluetooth 5.0. So this is the hardware specifications of Raspberry Pi. Let's see general ports input out pins. It is very important. Simple guide to Raspberry Pi. General ports input output pins. So here, this is the general input 20 pairs. So here 20 pairs here, like so same, uh, 1 to 40, 1 to 40, nothing but 20 pairs. So the start, for example, the first pair 3.3 volts input voltage, the second one 5 volts PWR, like sixth pin ground pin 8 to 10 unreserved reserved, general input output 10 23, like that we have different port names having under general ports input output. Ground 9 25 to 39 34 30 20 40 14, like that. So depends on our requirement, just we may use some of the ports on the general ports input output. So this is the just overall view of GPIO at 40 pins from first pin to 40 pin. Next, let's see one by one. General 40 pin input output. What are the specifications of that pins? The general purpose input output is designed is a slot with two rows of pins of the board. It can use to connect to various the use. It is connected to the peripheral electronic devices and sensors to control or monitor the input output levels of the signals. So these are the main function of general purpose input output pins. For example, you can use GPIO to control the speed of a DC motor, to read the distance measured of an ultrasonic sensor. So electronic device and the sensors. These functions of GPIOs differ the Raspberry Pi from common computer motherboards because it gives developers the freedom to operate manually. So these are just specifications of general purpose input output pins that are 40 pins. Next, gigabit second port, gigabit Ethernet port. So just look like, see, this is the image of general gigabit Ethernet port. Then what is the function? It allows Raspberry Pi to connect to the computer network in a wide manner, which enables easy access to the internet or logging into the Raspberry Pi remotely. So just if you want to connect with the wire, so just you can use this slot on the Raspberry Pi module. The Raspberry Pi Ethernet interface is implemented by using USB bus, through which data is transferred. The most models Raspberry Pi include an Ethernet interface. So this is the second point, that is gigabit Ethernet port. So the third one, micro HDMI port. High definition HDMI is fully digital video sound transmission. So same, this pad also connect to the TV with the help of HDMI cable only. That's the same purpose here, that by connecting to a display or TV equipped with the HDMI interface, we can display media data of the Raspberry Pi. HDMI interface can transmit our video or audio signals at the same time, meaning you don't need to connect speakers to the audio interface of the Raspberry Pi. Unless you really want to play audio through the audio interface, then you can need to modify the operating system configuration accordingly. So this is the micro HDMI port. So this is front view, this is top view, back view. And USB 2.0 or 3.0 port. Different versions having to either 2, either 4, either 5, 2.0, 3.0 ports having model A, model B. The universal serial bus interface is the most common interface of a computer. You can use it connected to the devices such as keyboards, mice, USB flash drivers, and wireless network cards. When the number of USB ports is not enough, we can also extend by a USB hub. By can USB, just you can extend the USB 2.0 or 3.0 ports also. So this is the example 2.0 and 3.0 port. Real 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 image. Next to audio ports. So audio interface 3.5 headphones are job. When HDMI connection is not used, you can use connect speakers or headphones via standard 3.5 headphone jack to the play audio. At the same time, that you can also integrate a composite video interface with a composite audio visual output function, which is generally used to connect old models of TV, which is rarely used now. So this is about audio ports. Next sixth one, MIPI CSI camera port. Just it is real-time image. Serial interface can be used to connect the CSI camera to the Raspberry Pi via a ribbon cable. This is the ribbon cable for easy video recording and image capture. Just if you want to record the video, it is at any time. Just you can use it the MIPA CSI camera port with bus also. Next, USB C 5 volts or 3 amperes power supply port, just in order to supply voltage up to 5 volts and with current to 3 amperes. So the micro USB power supply interface is one of the most used supply methods of the Raspberry Pi. The rated voltage is 0.5 volts. The standard current requirements of different Raspberry Pi models are slightly different. For example, 1 byte of type needs only 1 byte of data, that is requires only 700 milliamps current. For the B type of requires, that is 2. For B plus type boards, it needs 2.5 amperes. The charges of many Android mobile phones can improve flawless power to the Raspberry Pi. The current required for Raspberry Pi is also depends on the external device connected. So you can connect more number of devices to the Raspberry Pi, it requires more amount of current. So based on the connected devices, it may consume amount of current. Next, the last but one, micro SD card slot. So here, just this is the real example. The card slot is located on the back of the Raspberry Pi motherboard. It is used to essential storage of the Raspberry Pi. It is usually used for operating system installation and data storage. So if you want to start with operating system installation, just you can use micro SD card slot. The next one, Bluetooth port and MI PIDS by Bluetooth also we know the main function connect to the Bluetooth enabled devices like mouse, keyboard, gaming. And nowadays we are using mouse, wireless mouse. Mostly, many people are using wireless mouse. That wireless mouse just with the help of Bluetooth only. Bluetooth only. So 1 year onwards also without Bluetooth, just we may connect with Wi-Fi. I'm using Bluetooth mouse also. So just with the help of Bluetooth, just we can connect to the mouse, keyboard, gaming console like that. So you can connect the LCD display to the Raspberry Pi, which is generally used for embedded product development under normal circumstances. HDMI interface can already meet the demand. The last one, PoE hat port. The PoE is nothing but power over the internet. Power over the internet, active Ethernet, refers to a technology that uses Ethernet for power transmission. Besides the basic micro USB and general purpose input output power supply, Raspberry Pi 3B plus type of adds new method of power supply over the internet. You can use connect to a network power supply to the Raspberry Pi without the need of configuration of additional power supply, which is convenient for a certain range of application scenarios. So this is about PoE, power over Ethernet hat port. This is the just real example, real images. So these are the 10 ports having general purpose input outputs, PoE hat pin, Bluetooth 5.0, micro SD card slot, dual channel MIPI, DSI display port like that, audio port, dual channel MIPI CSI camera port, USB 2.0, USB 3.0, 2 to 4 this is 2, this 2 gigabyte Ethernet ఏంటి having. So these are the complete circuit explanation of Raspberry Pi, and some specifications, how many models, how many versions, future, what are the features of that model A and model B we discussed. So next, these are the references. These are the references just I used for this lecture. Let's communication protocols, how communicate with the Raspberry Pi with IoT devices. Let's continue with next class. Serial communication protocol, SPI and I2C, inter-integrated circuit communication protocols. Continue with the next lecture. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.